Well, what's up, everybody? It's me, Chris, coming right back at you with the UFC 91 undercard. I wasn't able to fit all the fights in on the first video. Unfortunately, I ran out of time, which I figured I might. So let's break down the rest of the card here. First fight I'm going to talk about is Dustin Hazlett versus Tamden McCrory. Hazlett's coming off the armbar, slick armbar win over Josh Berkman. Before that, he had a loss to Josh Koscheck. Tamden McCrory's coming off a decision win over Luke Kumo. I didn't see that fight, but I did see the Hazlett-Berkman fight. And like I said, that submission was one of the best of the year by far, one of the best I've seen in a while. Definitely winning with an armbar by a technique I'd never seen before. If you haven't seen it, go and try to find it and check it out. It's definitely worth it. So this is a fight that I actually wanted to see. I'd actually proposed what he would think of this fight to Jordan Breen on the Sherdog Radio Network earlier this year. Before it was made, you got two up-and-coming young guys, similar styles. They're both big kind of for the weight. Hazlett's 6'1", Tamden McCrory's 6'4", which is huge for the weight. He's a really thin guy. They're both well-rounded fighters. You know, I think although they're better, they're more of submission fighters than stand-up guys. So it should make for a really exciting fight. I'm hoping we get to see it. I know it's on the undercard, but I really hope some of the fights end early because I really want to see this fight. Or who knows, maybe it'll be fight of the night. I won't be surprised one bit if it is, but one way or the other, I hope we get to see this fight. As I said, they're very similar fighters in similar stages in their career. However, I think Dustin Hazlett's just a little more advanced. I think his stand-up's a little more better, and I think his submission, his jiu-jitsu game's just a little bit above Tamden McCrory's at this time. So I'm going to go with Dustin Hazlett. I'm going to go by decision, though, because I think McCrory's a game guy. And as I said, they're very similar fighters. You know, they're even somewhat, but I believe Hazlett's just a little bit ahead of McCrory at this time. And, you know, he may just be a better fighter. Who knows? This fight may determine that. But at the moment, I'm going to go with Dustin Hazlett by decision. Next up, we got Jeremy Stephens versus Rafael Dos Anjos. Stephens is coming off the decision loss to Spencer Fisher. Dos Anjos, this will be his first fight in the UFC. Gotta be honest, don't know anything about the guy other than what I looked up. He's got an 11-2 win a record. Most of his wins are by submission. Jeremy Stephens is a striker. Dos Anjos apparently is a jiu-jitsu fighter. So you got the classic striker versus grappler fight. So it's going to come down to who can dictate the fight or who can implement their game plan. I'm going to go with Stephens in this regard. He's been on the ground before in the UFC. You know, this isn't his first fight in the UFC like it is with Dos Anjos. People always talk about how first-time jitters and whatnot. I don't know if that's going to be the case for Dos Anjos here, but I'm just going to go with Stephens because he's got experience in the cage. He can survive on the ground depending on what Dos Anjos' level of jiu-jitsu is. You know, he's not a fish out of water on the ground, Stephens that is. And on the feet, I think he'll probably have a good advantage, although I can't be assured of that because I have not seen Dos Anjos fight, my bad. Either way, I'm going to go with Stephens, and I'm going to go with Stephens by TKO. And I actually hope he wins because I got to admit I'm kind of a fan of the guy. I like his style. He kind of just goes out there, really aggressive type fighter. So, that's that. Next up, we got Alvin Robinson versus Mark Bocek, or Bocek. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Robinson's coming off the submission loss to Nate Diaz. Bocek also is coming off a submission loss to Mac Danzig. It's interesting that these guys are both coming off submission losses because they're primarily jiu-jitsu fighters, especially Bocek. He's really got a lot of credentials in jiu-jitsu from what I understand, or from what I've heard. He's one of Canada's best jiu-jitsu fighters out there, if not best. So it's interesting that they both lost their last fights by submission. Although I think Bocek's a better jiu-jitsu fighter, I'm going to go with Robinson. He's a bigger guy. He's stronger. I believe he may have an advantage on the feet. I don't think Bocek's very good on the feet. Obviously, they both can lose by submission, so there's no doubt that Bocek can catch Robinson in a submission, but Robinson's going to be very wary of that, and I think he might try to keep his feet on the feet, or if he thinks he's going to get in trouble on the ground, he might try to just pull out a guard and get the fight standing again. So I'm going to go with Robinson by decision, but either one of these guys can win by submission because they both have the capability to do so, and they both have the capability of losing by submission as well. So we shall see. Although I doubt we're going to see this fight, but we'll find out what happens. Next up, we got George Jurgel against Aaron Riley. Jurgel's coming off the submission loss to Cole Miller. Riley, this is his first fight back in the UFC in a while. He's coming off a couple wins over guys I've never heard of, in fights I did not see. This is an interesting fight, I guess you could say. Both these guys, if nothing else, are known for, I don't really want to say this because I don't want to sound like I'm bashing these guys, but both these guys are known for taking beatings, to be honest. These guys, win or lose, are usually in really tough fights, Jurgel, he's 3-3 in the UFC. Win or lose, the guy gets hit a lot, And same with Aaron Riley. So this is going to be a fight where both these guys are probably going to take a lot of damage. So it comes down to who is going to be able to take the most or who's going to be able to control. Gurgel's more of a jiu-jitsu fighter. Riley's a stand-up fighter. However, I don't think that Riley's going to stop Gurgel standing, and I don't think Gurgel's going to submit Riley. So I think it's going to go to a decision either way. It's hard for me to say who's going to win because I don't know what either guy has left. Taking a lot of rough fights is going to take something out of you. Riley's been through a long, just tough career. He's been in the sport for a long time, whether you guys have seen him or not. So, this is a toss-up. I really don't see an advantage to either fighter at this point. I'm just going to go with Gurgel by decision. He's been in the UFC for a while. He seems to pull it out when you least expect it, and then when you think he's going to win, he doesn't. So either way, I'm just going to go with Gurgel by decision, but that's not a definitive pick. That's basically like a coin flip pick in my opinion. So last fight of the night, we got Matt Brown, or not last fight, but last fight I'm going to talk about. Matt Brown against Ryan Thomas. Brown's coming off the disputed decision loss to Dong Hyun Kim. Thomas is coming off a submission loss to Ben Saunders. Never seen Thomas fight. Didn't see the fight against Saunders. Saw the Brown fight. Actually, Brown's a last-minute replacement. I forgot who he's filling in for. I think he's filling in for no, he's not. I don't know who he's filling in for, to be honest. I was thinking it was a different fighter, but my bad. Anyways, I thought he was filling in for Dong Hyun Kim, as a matter of fact, but I don't think that's the case. Either way, like I said, I've never really seen Thomas fight. Saw that Brown fight. He looked pretty good. Don't really have much to say about this fight. Not really sure who's going to win. I'm just going to go with Ryan Thomas by decision. I believe he's a wrestler. Brown's more of a stand-up fighter. I think Thomas will get him on the ground. Probably control him there. I don't see Brown submitting him, even though he could. So, sorry I'm not more thorough about these fights. It's just, a lot of these fighters I haven't seen much from them. So, I'm just calling it based on what little I have seen or what I've read. So, that's it for now. Hopefully we have a good night of fights. Probably hit you guys up on Sunday afterwards, let you know what I thought. Till then, once again, I'm out of here.